Hello everyone and welcome back to Strategic Mind Blitzkrieg. This is a special bonus episode brought to you by my Patreon supporter, Boomnorau. And yeah, I'm back after a long time. I always intended to continue going with this game, ultimately. But yeah, finally I get to do it, so that's great. It's been a long time, so I'll go for a little bit of quick recap. So, fought in the Spanish Civil War, conquered Poland. Then I don't even remember whether we did Norway. We did. We did do Norway. The port of Narvik was not damaged. So we must have actually done a mission there. I can't remember that one though. Anyway, went through Belgium and France. And afterwards defeated the British in Operation Sea Lion. Got them up to Glasgow, but they still hold the north in Scotland there, unfortunately. Then afterwards we pushed all the way up to Tobruk. We got Greece and Crete. And supposedly occupying Malta is going to be the coup de grace that will make sure that we capture the rest of the Middle East. I'm a bit skeptical about whether that would be true. Taking Malta would allow us to march into Egypt and Palestine, etc. As I think it would surely be a setback for the Allies, but maybe more along the lines of we're still gonna probably block you at El Alamein because you probably still cannot get enough supplies in order to push us further back. Only it's probably going to delay the war down there by maybe a couple of months, like maybe 3 or 4 months. Something like that. I actually don't see the Axis suddenly winning in North Africa just by taking Malta. I'm sure it would help. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be a great boon to their war effort down there. I just don't think that it is the all-encompassing winning strategy that some people might think it would have been. But of course we're playing with fiction here, so you know that's not really all that important. We could just act as if taking Malta will solve all of the problems for the Africa Corps, and just continue on. That's just basic how it is. Whereas in reality, I think the material superiority, but also manpower superiority in Egypt for the British was most likely unovercomable by the Axis, coupled with their logistical problems, of course, which played a huge part, which makes me exceptionally skeptical as to whether the Germans would have been able to take Egypt. Especially since they were so focused on taking the Soviet Union. But let's forget about all of that for now and all of this hypothetical scenarios, etc. I like to think about that a lot. And I do know that generally I tend to mumble slightly less than some of the other players out there. Especially for this game, because I think I'm pretty much the only player, except maybe the developers or something, that actually do play this far into the campaign. Alright, yeah, so it's been a long time, and I surely have to kind of reinstall myself. At the very least, I'm already playing Spectre of Communism again, so at least in that regard, I've gotten the basics. It's just that I need to refamiliarize myself with the German tactics, which are slightly different than the Soviet ones, which are really focused on infantry, especially. Whereas for the Germans, it's really specific for tanks. So those things are very different. Now, let's see, I have heavy air transport, tank infantry support. That's all well and nice. I should probably do this whenever I can. So if I can already allow my units to reach level 6 and level 7. Although I also don't have aircraft training. How important is that gonna be? Because if I look at the units here and go to my air units, most of them are already level 1, so I would need to spend at least 2 points to get like 3 units to level 2. I don't think that's worth it. So I'm just gonna go for Elite Corps here. Yes. So my units can now reach level 6. Presumably that's because one of my units is level 5. I don't know which unit that might potentially be. I guess this one. The Panzer IV-F, huh? Yeah, okay. That leaves me with 150 points. For which I practically do not feel like there's anything worth getting. At all of this at this point. Nope. Alright, let's keep that and let's take a look at the unit. So first of all, I want to overstrength the units as much as possible. And afterwards I'm going to upgrade a few units and then I'll see how much prestige I have left. Generally, I like my units more specialized than having numerous amount of units. That's just how I tend to roll. Are there any heroes that I could potentially deploy? You could be deployed. And a fighter. Ready for assignment? Yes, please. Let's level them up. And what does top base do? Ground defense and air defense. That's pretty good. But I'd rather go for people's hero. More prestige. Desperately needed. And for the moment, I think I'm going to go for devastating fire. As nice as Overrun is, and I ultimately probably want to get it, I think that they probably don't kill enough units to warrant to have Overrun actually be better than devastating fire at this point. Same for First Strike, which I think will be exceptionally important as well. Either way, we do have that guy now. He's already serving. Seems like I can also put Michael Wittman in a tank, and I haven't done that apparently yet. I'd rather do it in the 5-star unit, because then he can level up the most. Alright. Definitely devastating fire. Overwatch is an exceptionally useful ability. Just like First Strike. Scouting. And I like aggressive maneuver a little bit more than anything else, so I'll go for that. But First Strike, Overwatch, Scouting, and Devastating Fire, definitely good ones. And I have another guy for a fighter ready, man. That's weird that I just did not put these guys anywhere. Must have really neglected all of that stuff. Well, the same applies for you. Let's start with Devastating Fire. And because they can only do 2, what did you get? People's Hero, yeah. But air defense, I'd rather go for First Strike then. Alright, that's that. Now, upgrade. The F4 has 1 more air defense. Yeah. Why not? It's also only 11. Oh, really? I had one with 3 stars? Oh well. They'll gain the experience fast enough, I think. So C to E model gives me +2 hard defense. Yeah, sure. Alright, there we go. Now we have to take a look at the equipment. Best doing all this stuff right before the mission here. Let's see. So this thing gives them naval attack. That's pretty decent. I like incendiary bombs over armor piercing. And you guys should have torpedoes. You do. Alright, so now these guys don't need any more things. I mean, how expensive is it? 50. Yeah, sure. Actually, I think for this mission, the thing is, because we're gonna fight a naval battle, it might be better just to get drop tanks, which lowers ammunition. But increases fuel. Let's do that. And I think for the fighters, 40 will be enough. Nah, you guys have 60. You don't need drop tanks. But I would say the bombers do, and well, let's take a look at some of the other stuff first. So okay, I wish I'd seen that before. The Panzer III-H. You can get tank flamethrowers. Tank flamethrowers. You already have them. Tank flamethrowers. Sure, I have a lot of Vickers machine guns. And with a lot, I mean they're coming out of my ears. But to be completely honest, I think there's something better. Most of the time. Mm, 525, that's fine enough. And yeah, how is this not better than the Vickers machine gun? Now that I have the prestige to actually give them this recoilless gun, why wouldn't I? There are no heavy searchlights, so this is okay. I'm actually inclined to buy another anti-air. Although for the Germans, my fighters are a lot better than for the Soviets, so It's a bit less necessary, although I don't think I'll have the prestige at the end here. Either way. Sapper, flamethrower. I'm a bit at a loss because I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not getting anything for discarding it. What the heck? I might have gotten these guys for free, but I'm not really sure actually. Because pioneers are generally better in every single way. Except that Fallschirmjägers have the paratroopers ability. But I don't necessarily know how relevant that's gonna be for the next mission. You would think it would be. I did get prestige for it. No, I want you as sappers though. Flamethrower, sapper, recoilless gun, and you should also have this. Yeah, so now they all have the paratroopers ability. Mobile. Does make them especially good. Has better targeting during nighttime. No. Okay, I think my units are ready. I think so. Let's talk to Rommel and Dunitz.
The capture of Malta will put an end to the British dominance in the Mediterranean and give us greater operational freedom. This operation will be similar to the Battle of Crete, but the naval action will be a lot more intense. The British understand the strategic significance of Malta as well as we do, and will defend it with all available forces.
We haven't captured it yet, man. What are you talking about?
Storming Malta will prove challenging. Considering the size of the British fleet in the area, the confrontation is unavoidable. Only we are incredibly underpowered for an open battle. Our main naval force is to the north of here. A few battleships would have tipped the scales, but it seems we'll have to make do without them. I doubt that the Kriegsmarine will be able to provide enough support to the army during this operation.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. One last thing though, because what I want to take a look as for the abilities for them, mostly for him, we have double activation for tanks instead of for infantry. Scuderian's drill. So just to compare to Spectre of Communism, because you know we have different abilities and such, so we can double use the tanks instead of the infantry as it is. This, okay. And so choose 2 or more submarines to attack the same target. Due to a simultaneous attack, it is difficult for the enemy to pursue submarines, and they gain additional 3 movement points. They cannot have more movement points than their maximum allows. Okay. We still have airstrike, and that's pretty much about it. So we're a lot earlier in the game here, of course. As for additional abilities, we have the trade agreement with the USSR still for 10% more prestige. Swedish ore shipments, so discount on land units. The Scharnhorst and Gneisenau are still alive. French naval bases. Belfast is leveled. So all naval units get a -1 penalty to all parameters for the British. We get 10 prestige for every future operation. The Bismarck is afloat. We get African volunteers. By saving the water supply during the Battle of the Brook, you ensure the locals' goodwill and eagerness to join the forces. All infantry is 10 cheaper. 10% that is. And the British troops' evacuation from Greece was prevented. All British units now have poor morale.
My Führer, above all else, we have to capture Malta. It is the key region, without which we cannot finish the war in Africa successfully.
I hope my Chief of Staff will support this proposal.
I will not. We have too little time to finish the relocation of our troops to the eastern border. I consider it the sabotage of Operation Barbarossa. We wasted more than enough time taking Crete on Rommel's whim.
My whim? Halder, how can you not see that Malta is of great strategic importance to us? My Führer, are you ready to lose North Africa and allow the British to regain their control over the region? Were all my soldiers' struggles in Tobruk for nothing?
I cannot allow that. I am sure that my Luftwaffe, under the impeccable command of Reichsmarschall Goering, will be able to carry out a swift invasion of Malta.
My Führer, I doubt that. The island is crammed with British Air Force. Despite the success of our paratroopers in Crete, they suffered significant losses. Our losses in Malta would be much greater. I doubt we should even attempt this operation. I agree with Halder. We should not risk our preparations for war against Russia.
And our Navy has to deal a decisive blow to the Brits.
My Führer, unfortunately, we only have a few submarines near Malta, while the British Navy has a powerful fleet there.
Then I will make the Italians support us with their Navy.
I do not think it prudent to hope for support from Italy in view of their previous military successes. We must be able to accomplish everything with our own troops.
No! This time our allies will have to help us. They must make up for their previous failures. With the help of the Italian fleet, we will establish total control over the Mediterranean region and throw the Brits out of there. Get to work!
Malta will be taken, my Führer.
I advise you all to take an example from General Rommel. Out of everyone present, he is the only one without any doubts about our imminent victory. This is what true loyalty to the Führer means.
Why does Halder have to complain every single time?
Operation Hercules will be the final nail in the coffin of the United Kingdom. If we capture Malta, we'll deprive the British of their last remaining outposts in the Mediterranean and cut them off from their Asian contingent. While I would not want to delay the invasion of the USSR any longer, I consider this is a necessary operation. The first objective of the plan is to capture a staging area for our main forces to land. That will be the airfield near Berzebuja. Irvin, try to avoid excessive losses among our airborne units. It's the Reichsmarshal's personal request, and I agree completely.
I'll do everything within my power, General.
Meanwhile, the Italian Navy, supported by our U-boats, will engage the British battle group based out of Malta. Admiral Donitz. Our experience shows that the Tommies won't hold the line if the situation gets critical. Focus fire on their battleships. If you sink a few, the rest of their fleet is bound to sound a retreat. Then we can begin the sea landing operation.
Well, it seems I can land my forces just fine. Although I would suggest that those coastal batteries will have to be taken out first. They have a range of 4 twos. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they also have overwatch, I'm sure. So, even though I can deploy there, it's not necessarily advisable. I cannot use my air there. But the airfield that I need to take is this. Well, guess 3 fighters on each side. Deploying the ground units at this stage seems fairly useless since I don't think, yeah, they'd be in ships, not airplanes either way. So it would only serve to get them destroyed. If I need to sink the battleships first anyway, and that's basically how it's gonna be. How about the Fallschirmjäger? Yes, okay. Well, oh. The other problem is that if I deploy all my units and they have a lot of airplanes, they're probably just gonna kill most of them. Alright, I have to level up the Italian forces apparently first. Terrain expert. I'm still just... I'm gonna go for veteran of the trenches. I need to save to keep them alive. Do I need to level up these? Okay. Yeah, near these airfields is gonna be most critical. How much defense do these guys have anyway? 14? What of a bomber? 11? My fighters? 12. Let's start with the one all the way in the rear. Unless you have more defense. No, these guys are not good at dealing with enemy fighters, but I need to make sure that my fighters actually do get through. So I want to get rid of the Overwatch first. Which I do think I've done at least now for the lower part. Well, the fact that these have air combat support is a bit problematic. There is one thing that I can do against that, and that is use the strategic bombing that would drain their ammo. Which airfield do I need to take? This one, yeah. Once per turn. Let's see. There seems to be yet another enemy air unit. It's probably this one. I would like to have them get the prestige, so I'll kill it. Yeah, killing all the fighters is going to be especially important too. It is especially likely that we're still gonna face more anti-air. They would through that way. I'm just looking for the best avenue of attack here. Pretty much. They have 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That takes care of the next Overwatch. It's all just damaged, so it's not the worst. I know, again, this I'm playing very slowly, but in this case I do not seem to be able to get a result better than 4-2. So be it. Okay, that's the second fighter. And now that's clear. I think going all the way to this airfield to deal with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that may be a bit too much. The problem the bunker would be a clear terrain area. But there's also the artillery. I think... I will be able to dispose of it. Or not yet. 6 damage. The let's go in here to protect these. It's not ideal, but it's something. And you have boom and zoom. Let's go for altitude. And also use it. No, they landed. The one problem. Okay, that's actually not too bad. So what I need to do, which sucks, but there we go. So now they're out of ammo. Out of ammo. Now that's fine, because
The landing operation was a success, General. The Birzebuja airfield is ours.
Excellent work, Irvin. Begin the second stage of the plan. The landscape is treacherous and won't lend itself to an easy landing. You will need to capture a port in the harbor of Marsaschlock. There are defensive artillery batteries guarding it. They will decimate our forces if we don't take care of them. I recommend flamethrowers.
It will be done, General. Remember the Abanimal? Our paratroopers will make short work of those batteries.
Yeah. I guess they might yeah, I'm not getting supplies yet because I don't have the maritime hub. Which is also going to be tricky. Do they have flamethrowers? They do. If I place a unit now, say Panzer, can I move them? Yes. Yeah, the airfield is currently unusable. I have one more fighter. The thing is that I wow. Now I can never protect you guys for now. They have the artillery, and this artillery, well, it's protected by these. So I need to land in this area. Either way. One, two, three, four, five. I can actually bomb that. At least. And I will. A landing. Now, actually... Yeah, you're pushing these supplies through just fine. It's kind of weird that they act... Oh, okay, they don't actually get any more ammo. In that case, it's actually pretty useful to attack these. Since they cannot regain that ammunition, so... yeah, that is very useful. Well, no need to attack yet, but... yeah, I need to take down that artillery first. The fact that I can land these guys is surely good news. Because I really do need to take that on the next turn either way. And since these guys also can no longer gain any additional ammunition, I don't mind attacking there either. Alright, which units need the most protection? I might lose a plane here or there. These are protected. These guys are not. Currently, they are the only non-core except for Rudel here. But I can't do them both. And at least doing this allows me to attack the bomber. If they have any ability like boom and zoom or afterburner or altitude, I think this is definitely the time to activate it for pretty much everything. I also want to try and stay away from enemy units as much as possible. This is 3 hexes, so there's oh no, they're protected by the bomber now. Why would I move them? I mean, they still might get smacked around, don't get me wrong, but okay. Okay, so they're likely not down there. Yep. Okay. Generally, I want to be quite careful. Although these guys have 13 movement. It's like, what we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. However, I'll keep them to the back a bit. And then we'll see what the AI makes of it. Oh. Because they have at least 4 and I have only 3. Alright, this is going to be a heap of misery. Okay. Yeah, well, that's convenient.
General, France, I've been hearing rumors that the Fuhrer is interested in various artifacts of the centuries past. The Holy Grail, the Lance of Longinus, and other, well, curious antiques.
Your point being?
I came upon certain notes, a product of sheer accident, of course. Fort St. Angelo is on the island of Malta, and in that fort there is a sword of the first Magister of the Knights Hospitaller, known today as the Order of Malta. I imagine such a relic would have the Fuhrer in awe.
The Fuhrer maybe, but my fellow officers, themselves part of the Order, not so much. I will, however, consider it. Keeping in mind our beloved Fuhrer's temper, the need might arise to appease him.
I agree completely. However, under no circumstances must the Luftwaffe or the artillery be involved in this. The task requires a delicate approach, with minimal destruction.
Believe me, Wilhelm, I'd rather capture a fort than an archaeological dig site. If we find the time for this task, I will entrust it to the infantry.
My men have intercepted a British radio exchange near Malta, Halder. According to it, one of the bomber units is commanded by Patrick Doorhill.
I remember this Brit general. He put our Kriegsmarine in all sorts of trouble. He truly is an expert at sinking ships.
If he poses such a threat to the naval forces, I will ask our aces to pay special attention to him.
What they're gonna do? Look through the cockpit? Well, who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I've been playing for a while, and the first turn always takes quite something. We didn't lose anything yet, although we did lose quite a few points. But the problem is, of course, that Malta is not going to be a mission where we are likely to score a whole lot of points. Since, well, there's a naval battle, which means that we're very likely going to not get a whole lot. Either way, I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. A special shout out to my Patreon supporters: Boom Around, Dungeon Pastor, C Data, Swords, Mandingo, Thomas Laughtrain, and Pooch. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye.